Hi, this is Rabbi Fleschel giving you something special on the Torah. We're now approaching the festival of Pesach. Pesach is the time of freedom. But what's bothering a lot of people is how can we experience freedom when we just spent a whole year locked down in lockdowns, experiencing coronavirus? If anything, we are feeling so far away from freedom. So I'd like to give 3 suggestions in terms of how we could utilize this time to prepare ourselves for Pesach and actually feel more free than we've ever felt before. So number 1 is, one of the things that COVID has done is it has exposed us as human beings. What do I mean by that? So what COVID has done is, if people have been in a marriage and it's been unhappy, it has exposed that. The divorce rate has gone up. Adultery has gone up. But it is exposed not only the weaknesses, but our strengths. So there's 2 ways to look at COVID-19. One is we could look at it as a difficulty and it could crush us, right? This whole year, have we looked at it as a difficulty? Has it brought out anything good in us, or has it just exposed weaknesses? Or have we looked at it as an opportunity of growth? Is it difficulties or opportunities? If we've seen it as opportunities, we probably could have grown in ways that we've never grown before. Certain marriages not only did not get divorced, but actually flourished, and in other faculties in our lives. Now, what's really interesting, if we compare this to the Egyptian story, in Egypt itself, some Jews saw the slavery as a difficulty, as a challenge not to grow, and many Jews did not leave Egypt. They completely fell off from the Jewish people. Those that saw it as an opportunity were the ones that left Egypt. Now, one of the struggles, this is really point 2, that many people have had during COVID-19 is that they have been living out of fear. One of our responsibilities in life is to always ask questions, is to educate ourselves. When we don't educate ourselves, we live out of fear. We live out of fear, we hear what the media says, and it absolutely crushes us. As Jewish people, as humans, the more questions we ask, the more we're going to grow. Where's that place? Where we see that more than anywhere is actually in the Seder. Manishtana, we ask questions. We set up the Seder with props and fun activities, so kids are always asking questions. And probably the most exciting activity that kids do is searching for the Afikomen. The searching of the Afikomen illustrates the idea of asking questions, because when you're searching, you're always looking and you're trying to find. And you're looking for what you're supposed to find, but you don't know what you're really looking for, right? You're trying to see. The search itself is an excitement. That's what life should be. Life should be, I'm searching for new things because I want to ask questions, because I want to know and I want to grow. The third point is really the question that's bothering us. When we get to the Seder, how can we have a Seder when we don't feel as free? And we probably felt that more last year. So actually, the first Seder was a Seder probably worse than the one that we experienced. The first Seder was a Seder in Egypt. The Jewish people were in slavery, and yet they still had a Seder. But how could they have a Seder when they were still in slavery? So one Hasidic Rebbe said, you know why they would have had a Seder? Because even when you're in slavery, even when you are struggling, you always got to have hope. Even in this period of time where we feel constrained, we always got to put ourselves in a situation where there is hope. And in fact, we learn stories in the Holocaust of people who celebrated Seders. They celebrated Seders in the Krakow ghetto, in Auschwitz, And I think there was a major story of two brothers that celebrated the Seder in the Krakow ghetto. And one of the brothers said, how could we have done that? How could we have commemorated and found freedom, during the Holocaust? And one of the brothers answered, he said, the Nazis can take everything from us, but they can't take away our spiritual freedom. And I think that is an important preparation that we need to have for the Seder. We have to prepare ourselves spiritually so we can feel freedom on Pesach. What kind of freedom? Spiritual freedom. We can go through COVID and we can go through struggles, but we always have to have hope. And we always have to focus on the fact that none of these things can take away my spiritual freedom. I don't have to look at things as a difficulty. I can see them as places of growth. And that's what I've got to be focusing on, and how I can grow spiritually. That's what Pesach is. That's what freedom is. And we can accomplish that now more than ever. I want to wish everyone a wonderful Shabbos and a wonderful preparation for an incredible holiday that's about to come to us very, very quickly. Shabbat Shalom.